Welcome to this comprehensive video on fixed dose combinations or FDCs. We'll explore what they are and their global significance.
You'll hear from experts on how FDCs simplify treatments, their advantages, and the regulatory concerns surrounding them.
FDCs are increasingly used worldwide to improve medication adherence in complex treatment regimens.
Globally, the FDC market has grown by over 8% annually, driven by demand in both developed and developing nations.
We'll also touch on ethical concerns. Are patients at risk of being exposed to unnecessary drugs? Finally, we'll delve into how India regulates FDCs and why it's crucial to the country's healthcare landscape.
Fixed-dose combinations are pharmaceutical products that contain 2 or more active ingredients in a single dosage form.
These combinations are designed to treat complex conditions like diabetes and tuberculosis with fewer pills.
In low and middle-income countries, FDCs are especially valuable in managing chronic diseases and ensuring patients complete their treatments.
According to the WHO, FDCs are recommended for diseases requiring multiple drugs, including HIV and malaria.
However, developing the right combination of drugs can be tricky. It's not as simple as combining 2 medications and expecting them to work synergistically.
Regulatory bodies, including the CDSCO in India, must carefully evaluate the safety and efficacy of each new FDC on the market.
Let's look at some of the primary advantages of FDCs.
One of the biggest benefits is simplified dosing. Patients can take 1 pill instead of multiple, reducing the chance of missed doses.
For diseases like HIV or hypertension, this can significantly improve treatment adherence and overall patient outcomes.
A study by the National Institutes of Health found that FDCs improved adherence rates by up to 25% compared to multi-pill regimens.
FDCs can also reduce healthcare costs, as fewer doctor visits are needed to adjust complex medication regimens.
In India, where access to healthcare can be limited, FDCs provide a crucial way to deliver treatments in a more accessible and affordable manner.
Despite the many benefits, fixed-dose combinations come with some notable disadvantages.
Combining 2 or more drugs can lead to increased side effects, especially if the dosing isn't perfectly balanced.
In some cases, patients may be exposed to medications they don't need, leading to unnecessary risks.
Research from the European Medicines Agency has shown that improper combinations can result in adverse drug reactions in up to 10% of cases.
One of the biggest challenges in developing FDCs is ensuring each active ingredient works well together without causing harm.
In India, concerns around unregulated FDCs have led to the banning of certain combinations in the past due to safety concerns.
Ethically, fixed-dose combinations raise critical questions in medicine. These combinations, while convenient, bring forth a myriad of ethical dilemmas that need careful consideration.
One major ethical concern is whether a single drug combination can work effectively for all patients, considering the vast differences in individual biology and medical history. Given that everyone's biology differs, a one-size-fits-all approach may not always be the best solution. Personalized medicine often yields better results.
This becomes particularly significant when we consider how FDCs are administered to large populations, especially in low-resource settings where medical resources are already stretched thin.
Studies show that while FDCs can increase compliance by simplifying treatment regimens, they sometimes expose patients to unnecessary medications, leading to higher risks of side effects. This is particularly concerning for vulnerable populations like the elderly.
Economic concerns are also tied to FDCs. The cost of developing these combinations can be high, which in turn raises the price for consumers. This can make essential medications less accessible to those who need them most.
In India, access to FDCs in rural areas remains a significant challenge. Many rural communities lack the infrastructure to distribute these medications effectively. Ensuring equitable distribution without overpricing these medicines is crucial for both ethical and economic reasons. Addressing these concerns is essential for improving global health outcomes.
Now let's turn to the regulatory challenges that fixed-dose combinations face, particularly in India. These challenges are multifaceted and impact various stakeholders, from pharmaceutical companies to healthcare providers and patients.
Developing a safe and effective FDC is not just a matter of combining medications. It requires rigorous testing to ensure that the drugs work together without causing harmful interactions. This process involves multiple stages of research and development, including preclinical studies and clinical trials. These trials are essential to determine the safety and efficacy of the combination, and they must adhere to stringent regulatory standards to protect patient health.
The Indian regulatory body, CDSCO, has introduced guidelines that govern the approval and monitoring of FDCs. These guidelines are designed to ensure that only safe and effective combinations are approved for use. However, some challenges persist in enforcing these regulations consistently. Variability in enforcement can lead to discrepancies in drug quality and safety across different regions.
Between 2015 and 2019, India saw over 300 FDCs banned for not meeting safety standards, highlighting gaps in regulatory oversight. These bans were necessary to protect public health, but also pointed to systemic issues within the regulatory framework. The gaps in regulatory oversight are often due to limited resources and varying levels of expertise among regulatory officials, making it challenging to maintain consistent standards.
Counterfeit and unapproved FDCs remain a significant problem, especially in regions where regulatory enforcement is weak. These counterfeit drugs can be harmful and undermine the trust in the healthcare system. These unregulated drugs pose a risk to patient safety, leading to potential health crises and loss of life. Ensuring the integrity of the drug supply chain is crucial for patient safety.
Recent regulatory reforms aim to tighten these gaps. These reforms include stricter guidelines, better training for regulatory officials, and increased penalties for non-compliance. India's healthcare system is actively working to ensure that only safe and effective FDCs reach the market. But there's still a long way to go. Continuous efforts and collaboration among stakeholders are essential to overcome these challenges and improve patient outcomes.
Despite the challenges, fixed-dose combinations represent a significant opportunity for advancing medical treatment globally. These combinations, which integrate multiple medications into a single pill, can streamline treatment protocols and improve patient outcomes.
FDCs are particularly valuable in addressing global health concerns such as antibiotic resistance, where simplifying treatment regimens can ensure better adherence to prescribed medications. This is crucial in preventing the misuse of antibiotics, which can lead to the development of resistant strains of bacteria.
In emerging markets like India, FDCs are seen as a key solution to managing the rising rates of chronic diseases, such as diabetes and cardiovascular conditions. These combinations can make it easier for patients to follow their treatment plans, reducing the burden of taking multiple medications daily.
According to market analysts, the FDC sector is expected to grow at a CAGR of 7% over the next 5 years, with major growth driven by increased demand for affordable and accessible healthcare solutions. This growth is also fueled by the rising prevalence of chronic diseases and the need for more efficient treatment options.
Pharmaceutical companies are innovating with new combinations, focusing on treatments for diseases like tuberculosis and cancer, where complex drug regimens can be simplified into a single, effective pill. This innovation not only improves patient compliance but also enhances the overall effectiveness of the treatment.
In India, FDCs are positioned to play a critical role in improving rural healthcare. By bringing advanced treatment options to remote areas, these combinations can bridge the gap in healthcare accessibility. By simplifying treatments and lowering costs, FDCs can enhance the accessibility of essential medications to underserved populations. This can lead to better health outcomes and a higher quality of life for people living in rural and underserved areas.
Pause 2S. Now that we've explored the opportunities that fixed-dose combinations, FDCs, present, let's take a closer look at some real-world case studies and success stories that highlight their impact. Pause 2S. One notable example is the widespread use of FDCs in the treatment of HIV/AIDS in Africa. By combining antiretroviral medications into a single pill, healthcare providers have significantly improved patient adherence to treatment regimens. This has led to a dramatic reduction in the viral load among patients and a substantial decrease in the transmission rates of HIV. Organizations like Doctors Without Borders have reported that the simplification of treatment protocols through FDCs has been a game-changer in their efforts to combat the epidemic. Pause 2S. In India, the introduction of FDCs for tuberculosis treatment has similarly transformed patient outcomes. Traditional TB treatment requires taking multiple pills daily, which can be overwhelming and difficult to manage. However, with the advent of FDCs, patients now have access to a simplified, more manageable treatment regimen. This has led to higher treatment completion rates and a reduction in the incidence of drug-resistant TB. The Indian government's National TB Elimination Program has been instrumental in promoting the use of FDCs, resulting in significant public health improvements. Pause 2S. Another success story comes from the realm of chronic disease management. In Brazil, the use of FDCs for hypertension and diabetes has led to better control of these conditions among the population. By integrating medications for blood pressure and glucose management into a single pill, patients find it easier to adhere to their treatment plans. This has resulted in improved health outcomes, reduced hospitalizations, and a lower burden on the healthcare system. The Brazilian Ministry of Health has recognized the value of FDCs in tackling the growing prevalence of chronic diseases and continues to support their use. Pause 2S. These case studies underscore the transformative potential of FDCs in addressing a wide range of health challenges. By simplifying treatment regimens and improving patient adherence, FDCs have the power to significantly enhance health outcomes and make a lasting impact on global health. Pause 2S. As we move forward, it's crucial to continue investing in research and development to create new and innovative FDCs. By doing so, we can unlock even greater potential and extend the benefits of these combinations to more patients worldwide. Pause 2S. Stay tuned as we conclude our discussion with a call to action, highlighting the steps we can take to support the advancement and adoption of FDCs in healthcare systems around the globe.